Everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Silver Mercy. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay, so we've established that our Mercy can hit a super jump, at least sometimes. That's good. Definitely helps out. That means we shouldn't really be looking at a mechanical issue. Well, that kind of mechanic. Yeah, fairly reliable, direct up super jump. Okay, I don't like that we aren't damage boosting anything yet. There's options for what we damage boost. I don't necessarily like where our team's set up, but we don't have the ability to control that. So we could put ourselves right here. Damage boost the Orisa. Of our options, the Orisa has the best range of these three targets. What we'd really like to damage boost would be our Hanzo, but our Hanzo isn't currently set up to hit anything. So we could hang out over here, sort of use this as cover, and then damage boost him thinking he's going to get into a spot. But what we'd actually do is like stand behind this, damage boost our Orisa, look at our Hanzo, and flip to our Hanzo if he actually ends up taking an aggressive angle. This is a little dicey though in where it would take us, so we might just end up sitting here. Really don't particularly love that your team isn't giving you any good spots to play from though. But you worked with the hand you dealt. That's the life of Mercy. Yeah, so D.Va is not your best range. Damage Orisa is better. Yep. You don't really need to look this way. I'm actually more curious about what's coming this way. Like, you want to check on this way, but I'm a little more concerned about is something coming through here. Your team is going to shoot that's on anything that is advancing through here. They're going to take time to advance. There's halts, there's D.Va, there's Lucio spam, all that stuff. I'm a little more worried of is a flanker immediately going to come up this way, and that's what you should be more worried about as well. Okay. Okay. Backed up a little too far away here so that you didn't have the target selection that you wanted. And again, if you're over here, they're not really on you. It's not great, but they're not really on you. You do need to just try and pump heals into this D.Va, at least until she's back in armor territory. I'd prefer you not hang out in the middle of the lane. Can you drift over here? No, that's going to be a little too far. Okay. I still don't want you just hanging out in the open here. You think, hey, can I hang out on this doorway where I can be healing my D.Va, but I can close the angle whenever I want. Here, you're just in the middle of the lane, and if someone decides to start shooting at you, the only options you have are, oh, I'm going to just Guardian Angel into danger towards my team, or I'm going to try to Guardian Angel up here, which here would be good, by the way, but right now you're interested in healing this. I hope you know that your Ashe is up there.
My healing spell is upon
Lucio doesn't need heals. We should definitely be damage boosting him right now. And again, we'd want to be looking, can we tuck closer to this corner so that we can more quickly get around this corner if we start taking damage. Right now, I'm worried. If someone starts doing damage to you, you have to run all the way over here to do stuff. And the difference between, that versus you're here, and the only reason you'd even be this close is for beam distance, the difference between here and here is a couple steps. And that couple steps can be the difference between, hey, now it's 2 steps for me to get behind cover versus 5 steps, and 5 steps is I'm eliminated. No, don't do it. Don't do it. No. Your D.Va, you can't help your D.Va over there. She's in too deep. You can't help her. Honestly, at this point, I'm not interested in anyone that's down here. You boosting your Lucio was sort of okay, but at this point, if your D.Va, once your D.Va left and went over here, you cannot afford to get that deep. You instead wanted to Guardian Angel back up to your Ashe and just boost your Ashe because the positioning was so much safer for you, and your Ashe has good influence. Your Ashe has good influence over this fight, or she should. Your D.Va, if you Guardian Angel over to here, there's just nowhere for you to go. It's too risky for you. You don't do enough. Like, healing D.Va is nice, but you don't do enough to justify the risk that you put yourself in here, so we don't want to. It's that simple. Okay, you can heal up your Lucio. But remember, Lucio doesn't really need you. He can heal himself. He has skates. He can get away. I would really like you to think about, can I boost back up here and help my Ashe out? Because your options really are you boost up there and help your Ashe out, or you try and super jump off your Lucio to get up here, which would be a bit tough, and then go, I'm going to influence the fight from up here.
I'm being attacked. Move up with me. Where does it hurt?
Unfortunate.
Move up here.
Damage boost, yep. Swap to heals. Okay, she actually gave you windows to damage boost rather than heal there, but that's okay.
That's healing spell.
Heal. You can go back to damage boost if you like.
Well done. My damage
GA
spell
past her.
is on you.
So this should have been a GA past her. This shouldn't have been a canceled GA. This should have been a GA to her and then space to keep going GA. Because you want to be thinking about where is my cover.
My healing spell is upon you.
Okay. That's a full health Zarya. Don't need to be healing that. Don't need to be healing that. Damage boost. Damage boost. There you go. Okay, now you can swap to heals because there's nothing for him to do. Yep. And now that he's rounded the corner, you think about boosting again. Okay, so you have to make a decision. Is this going to be your last stand or not? If you can get this res off and then Valk without losing anyone, now you Valk. Now you Valk. Okay, so unfortunate. No one on your team touched. Not really your fault. The res and then the Valk would have been a reasonable play here. Not your job to touch the cart, so I'm not too worried. I don't like this Valk. This Valk is a very big problem for a couple reasons. Oh, I lost my epic pen. And those reasons are going to be that you've already lost this fight, one. And what I mean by that is, hey, your Lucio isn't here. Your Lucio isn't here. Your Ashe actually isn't here yet. Your Ashe is about 3-4 seconds from being helpful. So this is really you going, we're going to, now that your Lucio is down, 4v6 these guys? No, we don't want to put ults into a 4v6. But the other big problem is they already got this checkpoint. You're not even interested in this fight anymore, because if you win, they get to respawn right here. That's a nothing distance. That's a nothing distance. So it's like 10, 11, 12, 13 seconds, and they're totally right back where you wiped them. And that's if you wipe them in a 4v6 situation. We don't want to spend ults to accomplish that. Once the cart gets to here, we could spend ults. Once the cart's here, we could spend ults. If the cart's here, we're absolutely going to spend ults. But we don't want to try to wipe them when we're down 2 and when they're here. If we were going to go for the Valk was as soon as we resed Lucio, we hit that Valk button, and then we're chain healing because the cart hadn't touched quite yet, and we would have had 5 people here. And 5 people to try and stop them from getting the checkpoint, much, much better. Now it's too late. And it's okay that it's too late. We just don't pop Valk. We just let them either beat us in this fight and send us to spawn, or you Guardian Angel out to your Ashe, let some of your teammates get wiped, and then when your teammates come back in a 6v6 you Valk.
Let's get you back out there.
That could be fun, Block. Yeah, so we've wasted our Valk now. And that's disappointing because Valk is one of our highest impact, most offensive contribution things we can do. Okay.
Did someone call for it?
I would like you to do a little bit of checking on, hey, where's my team? I'd like you to have a little more consciousness of where they are. Oh boy. Yeah, you're gonna hit the res. Okay.
This is not your time. Damage amplified.
So she's not looking. Well, she wasn't. When she was shifting down like that, you could have flashed to heals. Now she's looking at her opponent again, and you can flash back to damage. Yes, I'm getting micro. This is good.
I'm taking care of
It's fine. Swap to damage. GA there. Okay. Okay, you canceled this GA immediately for this cover. That's fine.
Fire at will.
Mm-hmm. So that's clearly a self-destructing mech. You do have to micro with Mercy. Okay.
To victory.
Why are you healing that? There you go. Okay. She doesn't really need the damage help to eliminate this Lucio. You can actually just be capping people up and healing people off right now. Any shot will eliminate your Lucio. They just need to hit it. Yeah. So go cap off the Diva. Go cap off the McCree. You're between fights. No. Cap her off. Cap her off. Cap her off. She can't see anything right now. There's physical objects between her and her opponents. So you want to go ahead and get her capped off on healing right now. You want to get this remaining health filled in. And you also, while she was in this situation, wanted to get the health capped off on your Diva. Because your Lucio is really slow to heal your Diva. He's been working at it. He's been working hard at it, but he's pretty slow to heal your Diva. And he has his ult. So you don't need to like wait for him. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm trying to let him heal so he gets his ult or anything. You wanted to cap off the Diva and the Ashe between fights here. Because you're much faster at that than he is. Mm-hmm.
That's healing.
Okay, that was good. You toggled to healing when she closed her line of sight to get that last bit of healing. That was good. We had lots of time to get that healing between the actual fights, but that was good that you weaved it in the fight. Mm-hmm.
I can bench more than you.
Why? Why does she not get damage boost? Are you worried about what's here? I'm not super worried about what's here. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Your Ashe is at half health and she doesn't have to be.
Let's get
You're
you
late
back out
helping
there.
her, and now because you're late helping her, you're gonna have to triage for longer, and you're gonna be late on getting back to damage boost. Okay. Swap to Diva. So you do need to triage appropriately. So what we're looking at here,
Let's get you back
here
out
you are. Your Ashe is safe. Your Ashe is safe, and your Ashe is only missing about 40 health right now. And you're totally fine at this point going, wait a second, my Ashe is, oh, missing more than 40 health, excuse me, is missing, my Ashe is missing 60 health, but honestly, my Diva's in more danger than my Ashe right now. So I'm going to step over here and just look down and heal my Diva until my Diva's in a little less danger. And while healing my Diva, I'm going to look forward for when my Ashe actually peeks the corner again. And if I can get my Ashe up to like 60, or my Diva up to like 60, 70% health, I'll swap over to damage boosting my Ashe once she's peaking. That's how you need to be thinking about this. This is going to be a high healing match for you because your partner's Lucio, which is not a great support combination, Mercy and Lucio together. But so be it. You'll work with the hand you're dealt. Good. So I like that you're healing the Diva here, but I want you looking at your Ashe. You don't need to look at your Diva to see how much you're healing her for. You have this health bar right here that'll be on your screen, even if you look somewhere else. So you do that. And even while you're looking at your Ashe to see if there's a Winston jumping on your Ashe, to see if there's a Winston coming up here in general, to see if there's a Genji coming up here, to see if your Ashe looks like she might be about to throw dynamite, which is something that you would stop healing Diva to boost, like anything like that, you want to be looking the other way for. You don't really care. Like, yes, it would be cool information to know, hey, is there an Orisa standing right here? Is there a Hanzo standing right here? Things that you might see. But the better information is this way right now. And we want to look at the Ashe while we're healing our Diva. We do not have to look at our Diva to heal our Diva. We can see your health pool without doing it.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Okay, so you heard that jump. And when you heard that jump, you immediately needed to think, do I need to be helping my Ashe? Like, your Diva's no longer the one in the most danger. Your Zarya and your McCree are in front of her. Yes, she is missing health, but she has lots of armor left. She's near a corner. She has teammates in front of her. Your Ashe is in way more danger, and that's who you need to heal. So you as Mercy need to be prioritizing triage. You need to go, who's actually in the most danger? Not what are their health levels, who's actually in the most danger. Just because I started healing Diva doesn't mean I need to keep healing Diva. Just because Ashe is further forward than my Diva doesn't mean I need to heal Ashe. I need to heal or boost whoever's in sort of the most aggressive or the most dangerous position. When it comes to healing, I'm going to heal who's in the most dangerous position. And right now, that's definitely your Ashe. Even though she's further back relative to your team than a lot of your teammates, she's definitely in the most real danger. She has a Winston on top of her. She's down at, less than 100 health there. That's definitely what we want to go deal with right now. Okay.
My servants never die.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Okay, so you're gonna heal for a moment to don't get bait. Do not get baited into them. Monkey will fox guard it. Heal your team a little. Heal your team a little.
Damage increased.
Swap to damage boost. Swap to damage boost. Good. Now back to heals because there's nothing for them to do. You'd actually swap your aim to Lucio here, and the reason that you're swapping your aim is the beam seems to do a better job of branching when you're aiming at a target that has more branches potentially in range, and you know with where your teammates are, the branch is potentially better over here. Here, it has to branch here, then to here. Here, it can branch here, or both, etc. But that's okay. This Valk was, again, late, though. Like, you want to use Valks right as the fight are starting. This was too late to Valk.
Did someone
It's
call
not a
for
terrible
help?
Valk, but there was definitely room to be better. Okay.
My damage spell
Did
is
we
upon-
not find a resin death, though? So here we are. Okay. Fine.
My damage spell is upon you. We make a great team.
Okay, that's not good. You know your McCree just went down over there, so that's dangerous. And there's your rest.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Okay, there's still a threat over there. So I know that there's a threat over there because that's where your McCree went down. So I want to keep this cart between me and what's over there. Or I want to get up there, which is where your Ashe is.
Get in there.
Oh no. Oh no! You see your Ashe's low health. You pull out your blaster. That's not right. Oh well. You can't res it. Doesn't matter.
Enchanting your damage.
Okay, so we don't stand in the open like this. We find something that gives us cover against the direction that we expect the threats to come from. And we expect the threats to come from this way, or maybe this way. And if we were at a higher SR, we would also expect the threats to come from this way. But we're not, so this can be valid cover. You can boost your teammates just fine from here, and you can see them. You could try here, but they're a little out of beam range primarily, so you're probably going to end up playing behind cart relative to them.
No, I'm on fire.
Use the wall. Use the wall. Tuck tighter against the wall on the right here.
Oh, this is my jam.
Enemy contact.
My healing spell is upon you.
Swap to Lucio for a moment. Yeah, Lucio's in the most danger, not your diva. You got to be fast on your micro. And if you have to look at them to change your aim, that's fine. You do have to look at them to change your aim. So you do a quick flick to look to change your aim. You cap Lucio off. Then you go back to boosting. Not really your diva at this range. Your diva's okay. But actually, at this range, your Zarya, or especially your McCree, are both better damage boost targets. But first you get a little more health onto your Lucio. You don't want him to get one shot during the halt. Up to your Ashe. This is fine.
Did someone call for
Heal your Lucio. Heal your Lucio. Yeah, and now you have to go right back to your Ashe.
Don't stop now.
No, don't you dare. Don't you can't do this. You can't do this. Oh, maybe you called it. If you called it, or your Zarya said she'll bubble you, this is okay, because you had the bubble. Usually you couldn't do this. You don't need to be healing your Zarya right now. Your Ashe was better. If your Zarya was taking damage, if your Zarya was at like 60% health, you might go, oh, I'm just going to heal you from up here. But your Zarya never needed your healing. You were better off here continuing to boost your Ashe.
Where does it hurt?
Вот где собака горит.
Enchanting your damage.
You don't need to look down that sight line. You can get shot looking down that sight line. You can peek that sight line every once in a while to see what's there, but you don't want to spend a lot of time with that open. Yep, just boost your Ash. She's got the best, most effective range
My
here.
damage spell is upon you.
Strong as the mountain. Greetings. Enemy
Ouch. Okay, so this is you being out in the open, and this is them playing better than you'd usually see at at the level of silver I think this is. So they came over this way. This is a real path. This is absolutely a real path you have to be aware of. Your way to avoid this would, of course, have been to go, hey, can I play more back here? Hey, something sees me. My instinct isn't to shoot at it. My instinct is to Guardian Angel past my Ash to change the angle and to boost it. In fact, maybe I Guardian Angel past my Ash and drop this way and press my hover so that I slow fall while continuing to boost my Ash as she shoots that way, because you don't have great cover options here. And cover has been a bit of a reoccurring issue here. So you're looking at that. You see the Genji, and you're thinking, oh, Genji can't hurt me at this range. But I guess you don't see the Hanzo down there, which is a shame because your Zarya sees it. Yeah.
Cease your resistance.
Chat pretty quiet today. I don't know. Maybe they used up all of their talkativeness earlier. They were pretty chatty for the 2 morning streams. Okay. No. 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 This isn't really what you want to do. There's a couple issues. A, this is just too in the open. It's too easy for them to just delete you. You're too likely to get eliminated going for this res, so it's generally not going to be worth it. And you also aren't really looking to res to make a fight that you're down in less down. You're not generally looking to go, we're in a 4v6, and I'm going to res to make it a 5v6. What that tends to do is still not win you the fight and mean you don't have res for the next fight. And that's bad, because you both didn't win the fight that you're in, and you don't have res for the early part of the next fight, which can be important. So generally when you're down, when you're down too much, that a res isn't going to bring you back to even, be that 6v6, 4v4, whatever. It's not going to be worth it to use reses. Now, there are exceptions to this. You might go, hey, we're at the end of the map, so I'm going to res because otherwise we lose. Of course, throw up the res. Or it might be, hey, I'm going to res because it's my Zarya who has Grav, and we can win with Grav plus High Noon if I hit my res. Like, okay, that could be a thing, even if it's going to be a 4v6. But your rule of thumb is you want to res to make a fight even or better. So you could res in a 5v5 to go up to 6v5, that's great. You can res in a 4v5 to go up to 5v5. That's great too. You don't so much want to res into a 4v6 unless you have a very specific reason to do so. You also don't want to res in the open like this unless you've called for tanks to cover you and you're actually thinking they can do it. Like, if you've called for the res to cover you and you've been tracking your Zarya's bubble cooldown and you know she has bubble, that's reasonable. You're not necessarily going to have time for her to react that she can cover it. If you do have time and she says, yes, I can cover it, even better. But if you know she has bubble because you've been tracking her bubble, you could potentially go for this res and just say, bubble me, type thing. Or if your diva's standing right here, you could hit the res, maybe, and do that. But most of the time, you can't go for these reses totally out of the open like this. And that's what this res is. That this res is in the open, too dangerous, and not going to change this fight. By the time this goes off, you're going to lose your Zarya.
I still have use for you.
And what do you know? So you hit the res, and by the time you hit your res, we're right back to a 4v6, and now you don't have res. And then you go down, which also not worth.
60 seconds remaining.
Maybe they heard I'm going to headlock everyone and they got quiet. Ouch. Ouch.
The wonders of modern medicine.
Strong as the mountain.
Messed up your super jump there, or maybe you changed your mind because you realized you didn't want to get Hanzo'd.
Heilstrahl
Okay,
aktiviert.
so this Lucio is full. Damage boost, if anything.
Casting a spell
But
on
he's
you.
honestly not your target. Zarya is your target. Damage boosting Zarya. So where are we playing from? Like, this is sort of cover for us, but if this is our cover, we'd move close to it. Better option for cover, though, might be this, where we can play behind the pillar. We can use the fact that our beam will continue for 1.3 seconds if we break line of sight to sort of peek with this, unpeek, have access to our targets, or we could be over here. We don't just want to be here. This is too much in the open where we are right now. We don't like that.
We make a great
Okay, can you get to your Ashe? If you can get to your Ashe, that's fine. You should go heal your Ashe right now. It's a little dangerous, but you should do it anyway because you can heal your Ashe. You can Guardian Angel to your Ashe, stop short, and then while these guys can sort of see you, there's mostly high ground in the way, and this monkey won't be able to zap you and Ashe at the same time as long as you intentionally keep the monkey between you and the Ashe, and that'll work just great for you. So help Ashe. Help Ashe. Okay, you're trying. Good. And now you need to split from your Ashe because you don't want the monkey to be able to get you and her. No, 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 no. You walked back this way and that was wrong. You wanted to keep going this way, but okay. Okay, she's walking that way. Good. Keeps you separated.
damage increase.
No, you didn't need to go towards her unless Winston came towards you again. So there's some micro to this specifically.
Damage increase.
He's hitting you once. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? His jump goes on a 1.5 second cooldown, 2 second cooldown? 2 second cooldown, whatever. Every time he uses it, so you need to see which way does he use it. He's turning away from you. You definitely didn't need to Guardian Angel here. If he'd leapt towards you, you'd have Guardian Angeled immediately to move and not take landing damage from him. But turns out he saw this, and now he's jumping towards where you're Guardian Angeling to. And that's a problem. Okay, that triage situation is worth it.
Let's get to that outfit. Right beside you.
Keeping separated. This is unfortunate, but fine. Keep angling away from your Ashe. No, no. Oh.
My servants
So this is, again, you trying to Valk to get back into a fight. This isn't really what we want to do. The card is basically at the end. You're not going to get another full fight, so I understand it. Though I would have preferred, honestly, you get eliminated, come back out, and try to use your Valk in the next fight, because I think you could have gotten at least like a 4v6 type thing. Whereas this is not even a 3v6. And your Valk, with how it works, gets less good as the fight simplifies, because the value of Valk really is the chain healing, the chain damage boost, and you're getting nothing out of this. You're getting better mobility, and you're getting faster health regen. That's not good enough to be an ult. Are you immediately gonna... Okay, that's yours. Fine. I said that, Adam. I said better health regen. I said better mobility and better health regen.
Jam.
Strong as the mountain.
Oh, it's 5 HP more per second. You mean for healing other people. No, it goes from 55 to 60 now, is my understanding. Used to be 10. But she used to heal for 50. Actually, at one point she healed for 30, but game was much less sustained back then. Good. Your eye should be left. You should be keeping some eye on the left. Good. You see that brig coming. Beautiful. Swap, swap. Your Ashe doesn't need help anymore. Your Lucio was critical. You saw that your Lucio was in bad shape here. Your Ashe is totally fine. You might have to go back to helping your Ashe, but you need to pivot over and heal your Lucio for a moment. Get him out of danger. No, your Ashe is not in the most danger. Your Ashe is not in the most danger. Your Lucio is. And you want to turn back because now your Ashe is in the most danger again. So now you go right back to your Ashe. Okay. No, no, no. Like, who's in the most danger now? It's your Zarya. It's your Zarya. Even though your Ashe is bashed, it's your Zarya. I know. I know. It's a lot of decisions per second. Your Zarya got out alive. You could have... Okay. Don't tunnel the res. Don't tunnel the res. If it's there, great. No. Okay. Okay.
A speedy recovery.
Okay. So I know we've talked about a lot of things. The biggest things, really, for making a difference are going to be, so far, and this may change as the review goes on, are going to be you want to stand less out in the open. Even if it doesn't feel like it's out in the open, like when you were here, you might have felt like this isn't out in the open, but it was. You want to get tighter on your corners in some of those situations. You don't want to just stand in the open here, because while relative to here, it might not be in the open, the opponents are going to get to here pretty quick, and then it's going to be in the open. So we don't like that. So this is a little better. This would be better. This could even be a little bit better. We don't want to stand in the open. We don't want to stand in the open. We don't want to stand in the open. I can see you're trying, and your teammates aren't giving you the best options, but even playing tighter against the wall is a little better for being in the open. Playing with this is a little better for being in the open. Being more ready to just cut bait and go up to your Ash is better. All these things. That's going to be the most helpful thing we've seen so far. The second thing is we're throwing away some Valks. We're sort of not quite dumping our Valks in the trash bin, but we're pretty close to dumping some of these in the trash bin. So we're going to want to do those when the fight still has a high number of people left, like a 5v5, 6v6, maybe a 6v5, whatever. We're looking for more of our Valks to happen earlier in the fight. After the fight has started, yes, but earlier in the fight, not to try to recover to get back into the fight. These are the two things that are jumping at us so far, but let's keep going. And then there's moving around, watering can style healing, I've seen it called, where you don't go, I start healing someone, so now I need to heal them all the way to full. You go, hey, I got them, I triaged them, I got them out of trouble, they're no longer the person who needs healing the most, let me swap to healing someone else. So you need to be constantly judging who needs healing the most right now, and it's not necessarily the person that you were healing. It could be that you're healing someone, and now that they're at 50% life, they're not in the most danger. It could be you were healing them, but their positioning got more defensive, so now you need to heal someone else who has more life than them left, as was the case. It wasn't the case, but that type of thing can happen. We're like, if you are healing someone and they're at 30% life, but they get their positioning behind a wall and there's someone at 60% life out in the open, they're the one who's actually in the more dangerous situation, and you need to heal them even though you were just healing the person at 30% life. You got to be a little bit more watering can style healing, a little bit more, hey, triage, thinking about who needs this most right now. A lot of devil's choices is mercy. That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
As usual.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's shoot for a new
Party
high
mode
score.
engaged. I can't wait to see you all in action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Spot the payload.
Get in the saddle.
Okay, I'm good with this. Gonna swap to heals. She got 2 low health. She's 50% health and she's backing up. You heal her. Okay. You're gonna keep healing her. And now you can swap back to boost. Swap to Hanzo. You swap your damage boost to Hanzo. Anytime, there's certain things you're looking to damage boost, and if Hanzo is using his Storm Arrow, you desperately want to switch to this if it's reasonably feasible, because this is a high burst damage window for him. You know he's likely to do a lot of damage when he Storm Arrows, because it's a high damage move in a small window, which is great for you to boost. And if he's using it in the first place, it's a pretty good sign that he's in a position to shoot at something real. So you look to damage boost those. Which maybe you're about to do. Nope. We needed the Hanzo. Okay.
My healing spell is upon me.
Okay, you're going to heal her a bit. You don't actually need to heal her. Lucio will get her up. Yeah. You're going to swap to Winston. I can live with healing Winston a bit now more. You go back to her. Good. She's plenty healed. She's plenty healed. She's relatively far back. She's relatively far back. You don't need to heal her anymore. And you can see she's got her weapon up to her eye in the wireframe that you can see through the wall. So you'd actually want to damage boost her right now because she's trying to take shots and she's not really in danger. I know she's not full health. Oh, you are damage boosting her. Okay, I'm getting lost here. Clear. Here we go.
I empower you.
Yeah, your flip was perfect.
Don't stop now.
Okay. This scares me a little. You know that that's there.
I'm taking
Good.
care of you.
Okay, you know there's a brig here. I don't like that you're walking across this as opposed to GAing up to here. That brig is too scary. Okay. Are you gonna surf off that Winston? Good.
Enchanting your damage. Let's get you back out there.
Okay. It's fine.
My healing spell is upon you.
Okay, you're keeping most of your teammates on your screen. You have cover available. This is good. Okay. If your team's just going to snowball, you're not going to get a chance to Valk, and that's okay.
My damage
That would have
spell
been
is
a better
upon you.
damage boost than heal. Not sure why you walked through here. You don't need to try this hard to get your Junkrat.
I'm taking care of you.
Good. Heal your diva. Heal your diva. Heal your diva. Your diva's in. You can't reasonably get to your Winston, so heal your diva. Good.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Damage booster for giggles. Okay.
Damage increase. Ich bin down.
Okay. I'm not really convinced that that super jumping there did anything for you. In fact, it was probably an unnecessary risk. A little bit of scouting information.
Adaptive circuits end.
My healing spell is upon you.
Okay. So this is a situation that you would consider Valking. Yes, you lost half a person, you lost a Diva mech, but your whole team is here. Your team is here, their team is here. This is basically the beginning of the fight. This is the type of situation you want to Valk.
Enchanting your damage.
This is too late. I can see that you're reactively Valking. You're Valking because, like, low health, low health, low health. I better Valk to get us back into this. And this is wrong. You Valk to go ahead. You don't Valk to get back into fights. You know, if the fight baseline is here, you don't Valk to get back into the fight. You Valk to get ahead in the fight. You Valk early, and you do it to get ahead in fights. That's how you want to use your Valk. Your Valk will be way more impactful. It'll actually mean you win some team fights that you otherwise wouldn't have won in any given Overwatch match if you use Valks to try to go ahead in matches that are even, as opposed to Valking to catch back up to get back into matches. This will probably be the single biggest, this will probably be the easiest thing to notice your gains on. Like as Mercy, when people fix bad Valks into good Valks, that's probably the easiest thing to notice. Oh, we're winning some extra team fights. Now, the truth is things like positioning, better reses, better damage boost also win you team fights, but this is the easiest thing for most players to notice once they've implemented it. Oh, wow, those are extra team fights that we wouldn't have won before. One of the low health is Bob. He's the heal target priority. He might be the damage boost priority target.
My servants never die.
Okay. We gonna damage boost this? Damage boost these three?
Use something. Let's get you back out there.
You don't need to heal this. There's no reason to be healing this. The Winston's missing health, and I don't care. This is damage boost. This is still damage boost. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bait. Fine. At least you did it after the Valk was over.
Damage amplified. Weapons optimized.
Okay.
Ich kümmere mich dich. I'm back in the fight. Let me.
Okay, she's out of line of sight. Once she left line of sight, you needed to be the healing diva because you can't boosting your Ashe when she has a wall between her and her opponents is just a waste of time. You can use your staff for healing at that point. Okay, the good thing about this is how fast in this comp you're going to get Valks. You already basically have another Valk. So if you use your Valks well, that's how you're going to win this match.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
We lost the Bob.
Green will of health.
We did lose the Bob, it's true. This fight is pretty over. Don't walk into this. Don't walk into this. Okay.
Did someone call for this?
Back out, back out. I do not care if we save our Lucio. Our Lucio can get out easier than we can. You do not need to save him. If he's going to be foolish and stay in the fight, so be it.
And even stronger.
Casting a spell.
Cover, cover.
Heilstrahl aktiviert. I'm ready.
Good. Okay, some of your triage healing is getting a little better here.
Granting your damage.
So, here we are. Okay, so this is hard to advance into, and basically,
Granting
here's
your
how you want to
damage.
think about it. Orissa's ult has much the same timing that yours does. If the opposing Orisa just used her ult, it's the type of time that you generally want to use your ult. Now, in this case, it's a little earlier than you'd use your ult, and why it's a little earlier than you'd use your ult is because the correct solution to this Orisa using her ult is we have 222 left. Hi, Supercharger! Bye, Supercharger. We're going to chill over here. That's the correct solution, or we're going to chill over here. Whatever. If she hadn't popped this Supercharger, you'd be going, okay, team advances, team gets to like here, I Valk. She pops Supercharger. No problem. You, in voice comms, tell your team to leave. Kite the Supercharger. Leave, leave, leave.
Ich kümmere mich dich.
Oh, we're ulting into this. So they're going to coalescence. Okay. If you can get this res off without losing anyone else, you can do it.
Enemy contact.
Let's get
Nope,
back
you
in
lost
the
your
fight.
Ashe.
Check out.
Where does it go?
I'm going for the top.
Nope, let it be. Let this fight go. Let them go. No! Freaking Silver. Silver. Ah.
My
Nope.
servants
Can't
never
do it.
die.
Can't do it. Can't use this Valk. I've been looking real hard for a spot to use your Valk. It hasn't existed in this team fight. You just have to accept that you're not going to get to Valk in this team fight and win the next team fight with Valk. Because even though it sucks that you didn't have a chance to Valk, they don't have Supercharge anymore. They don't have Grav anymore. They don't have Coalescence anymore. Your Valk is going to be so powerful. It doesn't help that your team used all of these ults. That definitely doesn't help. But you can't control your team. You can Valk really hard at the beginning of next fight and then go, aha, we caught you. You don't have Rally yet. We're going to win this fight before you get Rally. It doesn't matter that it's beaten Valk. It still won't be enough.
My healing spell is upon you.
Shouldn't be enough. They're just going to kite the Valk. Okay. I was gonna say they're much more scared of this Valk than they need to be.
Powered you.
Okay, maybe don't stay still. I know you can fly, and it's cool that you can fly and all, but don't actually stay still.
Did someone call for this?
Okay, so the good news is 141 with Lucio as your support partner, plenty of time to charge up another Valk. Here's this rally. This is a little extreme to be healing at about 70% here. Damage would have been better.
Where does it help?
There's your diva. Can you flick to him? Yep.
Don't let up on them.
Oh boy. Why is this Pharah scared of you? What? What?
Adaptive circuits engaged.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Just do that every time. Mm-hmm. Are you typing at Pharah? Are you trolling the Pharah? While a coalescence is going from the other team, are you typing at Pharah? You are. I kind of have to respect it. Like, even if you lose your mech here, it might be worth the tilt power.
My healing spell is upon
It's
you.
not actually, but... Okay, so again, we, this whole time, have wanted to mostly be over here because it gave us total cover. Gave us total cover against the opponents, and we can interact with anyone on our team from here. Our beam reaches anyone we want to on our team from here, but we have complete and total cover against the opponents. So we don't have to see the opponents to influence the fight. We get to influence the fight from here. This might seem fine, this might seem fine, this might seem fine, but it's not, because it's so easy for them to open the angle on us. Whereas if we're here, we get everything we want in terms of target selection choices, but the opponents can't get us. It's great. Here, it's actually harder for you to like see your McCree. It's harder for you to maybe see your Zarya. Well, let's actually jump in here. You can probably see your Zarya. No, it's harder for you to see your Zarya. This isn't as good. You want more allies on your screen, and you want less enemies on your screen. Yes, less than the 0 that are currently on your screen.
Enchanting your damage.
60 seconds.
Look at you are.
Where does
Well,
it
that's
help?
the echo, but hey.
Cease your resistance.
Here's the supercharger again. There's the Pharah again. Okay. You can flip that. I'm unclear on why that didn't flip, but okay. Please turn. Even if you're rezzing, please turn to look what's going on over here. I still don't like this res.
You've got this. This
I
is
hope
not
you at least
the
called
end.
for a bubble or something. Like, you know, rezzing, Zarya, cover me, something.
Damage increase.
Not sure why you swapped to your weapon there. You can Valk this. You can absolutely Valk this. Okay, now you probably don't have to.
My servants
But you're going to.
never
That's
die.
fine. I don't know why they're not pushing, though. You on comm should be going, push, push, push! You should be yelling push right now.
My damage spell is
Girl,
upon
the
you.
Mahal-
Seconds
'Kay.
remaining. Focus them.
It's fine. Hit the tether. Your your Zarya's giving you plenty of good bounce. Okay, you're going to heal for a bit. Heal for a bit. That's a lot of wasted Valk time right there. Fine. They have plenty of health. Damage boost something. That's not something. That's not real. He doesn't have a sightline on anything. He doesn't. You needed to be here and damage boosting the guys in the Valk. I know that's weird, but that's what you needed to do.
Thanks. Put it on my tab.
Damage boost the Kree. Great.
Someone called for
You should immediately GA when this focusing beam gets on you. even if you just GA to your diva and float past her, and even if there's a risk of getting halted, you would have gotten halted in this case. But like your instinctual reaction here should be, hey, this is happening.
The payload
I
has
don't like
reached
this.
the
Let me
checkpoint.
GA past my Lucio. Like you just go, I don't like that this beam is anywhere near me. Now the beam's not on me. Great, beam's on me. I'm GAing. I'm just GAing past my Zarya.
Did someone call
right.
for a bitch?
Okay. Damage boost the ult, please. Anytime you see an ult like this going off, damage boosting it, like you just should just immediately, like you should instinctually swap over to damage boost it, and your brain should have to override the instinct to damage boost it in those rare situations where you don't want to.
I've got you.
Enemy contact.
I have empowered you. My healing spell is upon you.
Cease your resistance.
Okay.
I'm taking care of you.
Ultimate is almost ready. Enemy turret ahead. Strong enemy turret eliminated. Here it comes.
Enchanting your
60
damage.
seconds remaining.
Strong as the mountain.
No!
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
Okay. Yeah, Ash is trying to line up the shot. That's okay.
Get them off me!
Nerf.
Cover, cover. Tighter on the wall. Tighter on the wall. It's better cover when you get closer to it.
All systems check.
Good.
I have empowered you. Valkyrie's almost ready.
Okay, damage boost your Ash and close the line of sight. Don't jump in here. No need to be out here in the open. You swap to damage boosting Yash and you re-close the angle. And if the Ash loses some health, you can swap to healing if that's what your heart desires. But you can do it from behind the wall.
My servants never die.
This is a little bit early. You really do want your team to get most of the way rotated in. Like if everyone was where your Zarya was, fine. If everyone was here, even better. This is a tiny bit early. But again, you can be yelling push, 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 and if you're not willing to get comms, you can just slam the Z button a few times and see if that does it.
30 seconds remaining.
It's fine, your ult is better. Really, your ult is better. Just damage boost this. You'll get to swap to some healing, but your ult is better.
Did someone call for a bitch?
Damage boost, please. Damage boost. Damage boost. There we go. Swap to heals. Swap to heals. Swap to heals. Unfortunate. Well, okay.
I still have use for you.
10
My
seconds
healing spell
remaining.
is upon you.
The payload is approaching.
Step right up.
destination.
Do it. And if you're worried about them seeing where he is because you're beaming to him, Guardian Angel to him so they can't see you either. Okay. So you had some pretty good Valks and you had some really not acceptable Valks. And I can tell you between the last two rounds that Valk is going to make the list of things that are most important for you to work on. Getting the timing of your Valk right. We are not Valking to recover our way into fights. Res might make the list. Cover might make the list. Your healing was better in this in terms of your ability to properly triage and prioritize targets that needed healing over other targets. So it's more likely that that's not going to make the list than it was after the first round. But let's keep going.
Score 3-3. Initiating.
Blah, you do have an awful ult timing sense. It's pretty uncanny.
Ready for battle.
Very well.
Okay.
Strong as the mountain.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Strong.
Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
Take
Okay.
a deep breath. Now, let's achieve our objectives.
I'd like you to look to the left real quick. I don't like you just staring at these people that you're interacting with. Damage boost him. He's got a bubble. He's got a bubble and full health. Bubble and full health. Thank you. Yeah, so if you were looking around or listening, you'd hear this, Lucio. And you wouldn't necessarily shoot at this, Lucio, but you might remind your team that it's there. You might act... No. That's not right. I know you dunked on the Pharah, and that was great, but damage boost the Widow, or just say, yeah, whatever, and go back to your team. And it might be damage boost the Widow for a moment, and then Guardian Angel back to your team.
Damage increase.
Okay.
I'm taking
So we
care
don't
of
want
you.
to be here. We want a Guardian Angel using our Diva to get to here. So we Guardian Angel across our Diva to get to here, and then we work from here. See, we've got most of our allies on our screen and none of the enemies on our screen. It's lovely. Right here, we have most of our allies on our screen, but there's enemies on our screen too, and that's gross. You gonna get Soldier? No, you're not. Okay, you probably need to stay on Diva. The situation changed. I understand what you're doing. Now you're going to swap back to Diva, right?
Let's get you back out there. Enchanting your damage.
Okay. Oh no! Don't do it. Don't be baited. No! And you closed your angle. You were here, and you saw the Lucio, and you got scared, and you took a step back. If you hadn't taken a step back, you could have GA'd to your team who can protect you from this. This is dicey. Now the only thing you've got to GA to is the corpse.
I'm with you.
Yep. That's not your super
10
jump.
seconds remaining.
Did you mess up your super jump?
I'm with you.
10
You definitely
seconds
wanted to super
remaining.
jump higher than that for the res.
We can do this.
Okay.
Did someone call for this? My damage spell is upon you.
Okay, you can Valk here. This is last fight. You really just press that button as soon as it comes up in this situation. Yeah.
My servants
Little
will
slow.
never die.
Not going to work. That's their shield and their flux. Or their wall and their flux. Okay, are you going to hard GA to the Widow over there? I mean,
Round
technically your pistol should have been out. You had no friends to interact with. Okay, let's keep it going.
score 3-3. Initiating
Ishtar is building a better future for humanity.
You believe that? I don't even know what to tell you.
I live for a good fight.
Damage amplified.
You shame yourself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop my enemies.
Spell is upon you.
Diva's not an amazing choice, but they're not giving you an amazing choice. You tried. You tried to hook the tether and then close the angle. Good. Now close the angle. Immediately close the angle. I know it's scary, but this is your place to hang out. If they're not going to give you a good place to play from, this becomes your best option. Yeah, their bodies are sort of cover, and I respect using their bodies as cover in rotations and such, but this still would be better for you. Why? Why did we not GA all the way and then tuck in here for the rest? No. His. I don't care about his life. There's no way you save him, and even if you did, it's almost certainly at the cost of your own life. Not worth. Not worth. Not worth. Not worth.
I have empowered you.
And that's the second time you've gone wildly deep to go, oh, I'm going to try to do that. So that's on my watch list. Okay. Are you screaming about the sim that's right there? Are you? Are you going sim, 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 diva, sim?
My damage spell is upon you.
Okay.
Where does it
Are
hurt?
you going to damage boost that pile drive? No. Okay. Lucio's fine. Don't care. He's on heal aura. He'll finish off his own healing. What are you doing? Are you Valking? Are you Valking? No. Okay, that's fine.
Let's get you that outfit.
Now you need to be Valking. You need to be Valking. Every elimination that you get, like, is serious right now. They're not going to respawn before you hit overtime, and that's very important because the respawns start getting slower. But more importantly than that, what you're running into is, hey, if I Valk now, our eliminations are effectively real. Will some of them make it back because they'll trigger overtime? Yes, but they can't at this point get a real 6-person team fight without winning through staggers. So your limbs are effectively real right now. So you want to pop your Valk. Your Valk will last longer than these 10 seconds anyways. Please Valk. Please Valk. Please Valk. Please Valk. Please Valk. Please Valk. Even if you just go and duel the Lucio, that wouldn't be a good Valk, but that would be better than.
I'm here.
Please, Valk. Please. Please. Thank you.
Servants never die. A funny casting spell on you. You've got this.
Oh, let's break it.
You've got
Oh,
this.
let's break.
We're healing. We're healing. We're healing. We're healing.
You've got
We see
this.
the dragon. We see the dragon. We're healing. We're healing. Why did we stop healing? The dragon's not hurting us. We're up above it. Why did we stop healing? If we kept healing him, the. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. Not a big deal. If you'd kept healing him, he would have gotten his speed off. Not that it would have mattered because you'd have probably still lost the Diva mech, but hey. Okay. If you want to just go eliminate the Zarya, if you know that those Zarya and Hanzo are low health, you can just go eliminate them with your blaster. If you don't, I'm not sure what you're doing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was way too long not doing anything. Let's go back here.
You've got this.
Oh, let's break.
Last third. You're in the last third of your Valk right now. You see how you just wasted the entirety of the last third of your Valk there? If you'd pulled out your pistol, you could have eliminated 2 of them. If you'd healed the ball, that would have been the more standard choice, and that would have been fine too, healing or boosting the ball. But you were looking for this res, and I don't mind you looking for the res, but like, you can beam your ball while you're looking for the res. And yes, that's going to give away that you're there, but it wasn't some great mystery that you were there. You absolutely needed to be beaming your ball. You wasted the last third of your Valk. This should be over. You guys should have won this match already. And don't get me wrong, you guys getting caught in the Dragon Strike foolishly is a big part of why you haven't, but you have contributed to this match not being over yet. You or your ball pocketed by you could have picked up 2 more eliminations. which wouldn't win the fight right here, but would make it much better for the response.
Damage increase.
He's too low. Yeah, you swap the heals. Good.
Reality bends.
Okay, back to him. Fine.
Where does it hurt? Gross. I have empowered you.
Is our
Your
sim going?
support has
Our
arrived.
sim and Junkrat are fighting the Pharah. This might be a job for Mercy. Heal him. He doesn't need the damage boost. He needs the heals. Yep. That's not a super jump. What was that?
Damage
Oh, you
amplified.
went for a normal glide and it walled you up. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Ready for battle.
Most important thing is going to be Valk. The bigger issue with your Valk is that you are too often trying to use it as a recovery ult to get back into a fight that has started to go south, the way that you might use Transcendence or Beat. It is not a recovery ult. Valk is not to get you back into fights where you've gone down, where people are missing a bunch of health. Valk is to make even fights go in your favor, and preferably to make even fights go in your favor while they're still big fights, 6v6s, 5v5s, because it's a chain effect. The more people are up, the more powerful it is. So that's what you want to use your Valks for. And if a fight is not going your way, you just accept that you're going to lose the next fight, and you win. Excuse me. You accept that you're going to lose that fight from an ulting perspective, and you look forward to Valking the next fight into less resistance. That's how you want to think about Valkyrie. Now, there were some other issues with Valkyrie. You're Valking a couple cases a little bit too early. I can tell you're trying to use Valk the right way in those situations, but you're Valking like a couple seconds too early. I'd like your team to be a bit more advanced, but it's silver. I'm going to have some leeway. We'll call those the good Valks. You will want to try to get them a little better, let your team get a little closer, let the fight be a little more committed before you hit the Valk. Not your team is all missing a bunch of health. Your team can be missing some health, that's fine, but not, 3 people are critical. You would like to be Valking before that in most cases. And the opponents using Coalescence, for example, that doesn't bother you at all. You'll Valk right on through that. The opponents use Coalescence, Valk, whatever, you can match it. That's no problem. That's no problem whatsoever. You can sort of treat Supercharger the same way, but if they use Supercharger early like they did, you're just going to instead go, nah, we'll line of sight that. And you'll try to communicate to your team to do as much. But again, it's silver. You may or may not be in voice. They may or may not be in voice. Not a big deal. And then the last thing we saw with that Valk was, of course, you just didn't use a third of your Valk there. That can't happen. That can't happen. That was too much downtime. But that's really a one-off unique thing, I think. The real thing I'd focus on your Valk is please don't Valk into fights that you're too far behind in. We're not trying to Valk to get even. We're trying to Valk to get ahead. Okay. So that's the first thing that I want you to work on, and I want you to use like 5 to 15% of your brain power while playing your next, say, 5, 10, 20 matches specifically focused on that. So if you play your Mercy Wars in general because you're focused on this, that's okay with me. We're trying to make your Valk, specifically your Valk usage and not Valking into lost fights, better. We want to just ingrain that into your autopilot so that you don't have to think about it. And then once it's part of your autopilot, once you really think you've got it in there, then you move on to the next thing. The way you know that it's in there or not is if when you move on to the next thing, you find that your Valks don't start getting worse or don't start seriously getting worse. A little bit worse is okay. Then you know, okay, it was safe to move on. If you move on and you find your Valks start getting meaningfully worse, you moved on too quickly, drop whatever the second thing you were working on was, and go back to working on your Valks, and then try again after another 10 games or whatever the case may be. So that's the first thing, your Valks. The second thing I am going to give you is your use of cover. This might not seem like the biggest deal to you because you're probably looking at some of this stuff and like, temporal, this is fine, I've got cover. Temporal, this is fine, I've got cover. No, you don't. And your team made it hard for you this game. I accept that. But you still need to make better of the situations that they're giving you. This is better cover than this. But the real stuff that's bothering me is when you're like doing this as opposed to going to spots like here, when you have all 6 of your teammates on the screen and the enemies are over here. This is the spot that you want. Or another example, really strong example, would be here. This was the spot you wanted, where you could see your whole team and the opponents were over here. You don't want to be here. Even if this feels like, oh, I mostly have cover, I have the cart, I have this, I'm kind of curious what's going on over there. I don't care that you're curious what's going on over there. This is better. This is better. You can see your whole team. Now, you might choose to look away and check a flank or something, but you have your whole team effectively on your screen if you want them there, and the opponents cannot interact with you. And that's perfect. These are the positions that you're looking for. We're not looking for, oh, yay, I'm standing right here. We're looking for, I'm right here. We're not looking for, oh, yay, I'm standing right here. We're going to go, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, where we actually have cover that we can use. Or, if we want to use high ground instead, that's fine. High ground is lovely. Okay, so those are the 2 things that I would work on. And then the third thing I would work on is you have reses that are too risky. Remember, we're looking to res. Res is our get back into fight things, but it's not get massively back into fight. We can res in a 5v6. We can res in a 3v4. We can res in a 4v4. We cannot res, or don't want to res, in a 4v6. So res can, unlike Valk, be used to try to get you back into a fight if it's actually going to bring the fight back to a 50-50 fight. But I want you to be more conscious about the reses you're going for. You're going for some reses that are just too dangerous, too risky to your own life, and I don't know if you're calming to get cover or not. If you're not communicating on voice comms to get cover, you can't go for most of those reses. And if you are, some of those are still a little dicey. But hey, you want to, when it's available, part of figuring out Mercy is absolutely getting those reses that are a little risky, but you do things, this is a perfect example, like going, I'm going to hit the res from here. This is a kind of risky res that you went for here. Like, hey, the opponents were right here. Yes, your diva just pushed in to clear stuff, and that was great. Maybe you were on comms because that was a good move on her part. And you pushed forward to res, and that was good, but you should have done it from here. This is like we'll call it a 7 out of 10 risk res or a 6 out of 10 risk res, whereas this is like a 4 out of 10 risk res, and that difference matters. That's the sort of thing you want to go for. Or, hey, if you res here in the street, it's a 7 out of 10 risk res, but if you communicated it to your Zarya and your Zarya has bubble, it's a 5 out of 10 risk res. You want to lower the threshold on the risk on some of these with communication if you can, and if you're just not comfortable communicating, I need you to cut some of the reses in that case, but I also need you to look more for this cover that you can use for some of these reses. But you had some reses, and I pointed them out that were just too dangerous. You need to value your own life a little more highly than you are. Okay. I think that's going to do it. If people have questions, throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join the Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay. Let's catch up on chat. Hate ball every time I play the one they are... They're Yeetle, and when they're on your team, they're completely useless. Hanzo Clutch Schultz. Am I saying Mercy single-handedly lost the fight? No, I'm not. Though Mercy certainly contributed to that fight. Like, winning that fight was not free, and winning the recontest of that fight was not free, and it could have been pretty free if Mercy had used the last third of the Valk better there. Red team in chat. Wait, they got a res. They have a Mercy. Look, there she is. Symmetra's the most common counter for Farah. Okay. Looks like that's going to do it. Okay. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.